What is up, everyone? Back at it again with a long overdue Briar jungle video. So Briar, I haven't done a video in a long time for her. I want to do a recent one mostly because of the new build that I've been experimenting on. And her build is really straightforward. Titanic Cleaver has been the core item on her. It's still the best build on her. And the third item is going to be the sort of new thing I've been testing a lot on her. That's just something I'm going to show you guys in this video. For runes, press attack with domination is just, the go-to. And you want to make sure you kind of run that page setup. Here, make sure the raptors are stacked up. In that situation, you don't want to have them unstacked up. The clear is the exact same. If you solo raptors, this is a clear. If you're not solo raptors, start blue, which is also fine. I like this, solo raptor clear a lot of time, as you know me. And I like to save my E for all the little babies so we can one-shot them with one E. And for Briar jungle, it's really important to make sure you play for your full clear. It's just always a very core thing about her is playing for your farm. Your W, as you can see, is an all-attack reset. You want to utilize that as much as possible. And also for this game, we're going to be playing in like 200 LP range. And for her, it does get harder the higher I play her. So I would recommend her generally in like the lower ranks is where she sort of shines a lot. And with this new build that I'm going to show you, I honestly think it's extremely certified. Titanic Cleaver is still by far the best build. So you always want to, play for that. Titanic just really, really good on her. The Tiamat buy, extremely good. Here, I showcase the auto attack resets into the E auto attack reset. This is an example of just utilizing her auto attack resets in her kit, which is an essential thing when you're trying to play a champion is sort of, utilizing a lot of it. And the first clear that I do, I always do my first clears differently because it's all about mid-maxing, right? Like I'm trying to maximize my speed by doing the most efficient thing possible when I clear. And this is one of the examples. You can do Grom second if you like, but I just like to get the blue right out of the way. And for early ganks, I really don't advise on going for anything like crazy early game. I think you should just always play for full clear. If you can play for that first full clear, everything else just becomes much easier. And if your W and E are coming up around the same time, always wait for the E first. Because once you W, you're pretty much locked into this animation. And you don't want to be locked in forever. So here, I'm probably not going to get top crab. If Volibear was pathing up, as you can see, it would be a tricky situation. But if he's coming back, it may be an easy situation here, especially with press attack. We're very strong in this situation. And Volibear, no flash now. Very nicely done. This should actually be a kill too, because my W will give me a range, and then boom. He tries to stun me. Adios. See ya later, a Volibear. Volibear really strong, probably going the disgusting Inori build, which is... Come on, crab, don't do that to me. Which is really powerful. I really recommend Volibear too, if you haven't watched my Volibear video. I've been really big on Volibear. And Briar, obviously, she's the juice. She's the toes. The toes performs. She's really good once you figure out her mechanics. And here, I always prefer the Tunneler first. You can go into like a Tunneler Ruby. You can switch to Sweeper if you prefer, but honestly, you don't even have to switch to Sweeper. Keep your yellow trinket if you like it. It's a free country, and I think yellow and red, especially lower rank, red Sweeper isn't that good. You're better off keeping your yellow if you're finding yourself not utilizing the Sweeper denial of vision mechanic, right? So here, always W close when you're to the camp. Remember, early game, I'm not doing that because I'm mid-maxing, but later on, right after the first clear, you're Wing. So the movement speed you get is going to be kind of enhanced for you. This is a situation which is kind of weird. Is my balling okay? Is Volibear coming? No? Okay. And here, I just don't want to lose my raptors. I don't want to lose my jungle. And also don't want to lose dragon to like a Volibear cheesing it. So here, I'm just going to hit it in a better direction. But overall, I think Volibear is on the bot crab. Here, I just Q it because I'm already close enough. I want to E before just to get that maximum damage off. And I'm in a situation where I want to make sure Volibear is not on dragon because the karma hitting that plant wasn't really doing too good of a vision check for me. So what I'm going to do is actually check myself to make sure he's not on dragon. So here, you can peek it. I'm going to clear the ward out. Q does do damage to pink wards. And from here, I do have my E up, so we can just fight and just go in with our damage here. So here, once my stun is up, she's pretty much dead. But you honestly don't need stun sometimes too. So here, I know Volibear is in top side. And I just want to check his cycle. I want to see where exactly is he. Just finished Krugs? Okay. Can he stop me on grubs? Most likely not. But he may kill my boy Teemo. But with Silas moving... Remember, if you always have numbers, the fight is just so much better. You can see I mid-max that kind of range there. I'm just trying to get on the Volibear. And now you just right-click them down. I mean, it's a clean game, right? Briar, I always love Briar. I still think she's extremely strong. I do enjoy her, but I also do enjoy playing a lot of random things as well. Here, you want to smite the first one because in a QW rotation, you should be able to burn it down with the maximum. You're missing health damage. And now the second rotation, you want to stack them up. And now you can kind of get that value. Yeah, I think Briar is extremely strong if you kind of master her mechanics. She's really... can be a tricky champion to play, but... I feel like once you get the hang of her, she's like one of the best champions. She's really laid back because if you don't like auto-attacking, well, Briar Jungle is the champion for you, right? And I'm probably going to play a lot more of her just because, honestly, I've been having a lot of fun with her, and I enjoy it. In early game, you can see, like, press attack, the damage is really high. Where things would be wrong, for example, you're probably like, Inori, do you just win every fight? Do you just kill Volibear? No. If I fought Volibear with all abilities up and he had all abilities up, I would not have won that fight. I would not win. The problem is you have to understand that sometimes people like him revealing with his Q and him not having his Q up and him face checking me with no ability, like no Q ability or E up. That's like the difference between, you know, a good play and just, you know, that's the difference between me winning and me having no chance, right? And for example, if I didn't have Silas there and a best that could go on me first, right? It would be bad, right? So there's a lot of conditions to the success of your early fights. And the most important thing I want you to know is just having your damage abilities, right? Having all your cooldowns up. Does the other person have all his cooldowns up? These sort of things. I just want to jump on him right now first, just because I can chunk him. And the reason why he can't fight me here is because I have the Silas next to me, right? So I go in there aggressively. I know he's not going to go on me because I do have that Silas next to me, and that's a big important thing. Here I want to make sure Silas isn't going to get all in. And I do have my Titanic, so I do want to base. Now I see her trying to all in. I can go on her and help out, right? So very easy, very straightforward. I do want to base. You really should not be sitting on so much wealth. You really want to base with this. Buy a Titanic. Because once you get the Titanic, your damage, your power is really, really, really high. So here we play for it. Volibear not doing so well. Enemy mid is not doing well. Continuously play towards where you're strong, right? Don't overforce in where you are weak. I would say I'm weak around top side. Why would I be weak around top side? Because, well, Kled and Volibear together are really strong 2v2. Much stronger and much worrying for me, right? So that's where I would see weakness. I'm kind of weak bot side. Why? Because enemy team is really far range. They can kite me really well. And I'll have some conditions, issues getting onto them, right? And Karma isn't really the best champion to help me get onto them. So I will somehow end up struggling with that. But you know where I'm really strong is mid lane, where you have this Investa who realistically is always going to have to all in to go for any CS. So I'm always just going to be able to kind of capitalize on that window. So we take advantage of where these windows where we're strong. So here I want to do Dragon, but also my Silas is low, so he's not going to help me until he TPs back. But I also think Volibear should be a bit scared of me. And I just want to kind of look for him in his jungle here. So what we need to do is sort of catch the bot lane as they really aggressively kind of walk in here. Rather, this Karma just comes with me. And I think it's just a really good angle to go in here. Now I have a pretty easy ulti lineup, right? So I just want to start with my ulti. Now I can stun him, save my W if I need to, or just use it as well. Do I want to dive really deep? Probably not. But I think they get that champion. And now I'm happy because why? This Karma is really... honestly, she's really bad. I can tell already. She doesn't know what she's doing. She's getting us in a really bad situation. So I have to finish while my team is mistakenly make me suffer. Karma is... this is what masters, I'm telling you. Any single one of you watching this, you literally can be masters. I promise on my life that you could easily be masters. It's really players... it's about learning something and being good enough at something that you just carry over to the game progress, right? Like imagine if I'm just super good at Briar and she's not the hardest champion. I'm naturally going to just succeed, like climb really quickly and really well. So it's like these sort of things are going to be your avenue to success. And you're going to be looking for those windows to climb, right? That's how you're going to climb, through these sort of mastery of certain champions and your understanding of these sort of mechanics, right? Like once you understand the foundation of, you know, Briar and the mechanics of her, that's where your success is really going to grow. And you're going to see a lot of, you know, just great sort of progress from that. What I think is Kled will still be here, probably looking to base or something. ETP. But yeah, that's what your focus is. That's what you want to, you know, really pay attention to. Overall, waste of time to go back and forth. I just want to get this objective down. Or I want to make sure my mid is not going to die here. Either one is good. Here I tank tower and then I channel E. It's just because I'm going to be able to tank tower a few shots so Silas can help finish it off. And also my E will help me push back if they try to one-shot me while I'm under tower. So that's a good mechanic. Plus, I'm not going to stay under tower much longer, right? You always be careful with those situations with tower and tower diving. Is your E is the most essential thing. Your E will reset your rage, you reset your W. And you're probably wondering, why didn't I start with ulti in that situation? Because ulti takes a really long time to go off. And if I hit ulti and then it, like the whole mechanic thing, it just would not be as, like, they could easily run towards tower by that time, right? So I'm easily much faster, more consistent for me to be, like, just start with my W in that situation. And most importantly, I don't need to ulti, right? I'm strong enough without my ultimate in that situation. Always be careful of these mid towers. Like, it's a really short lane. Hitting ultis here really always sort of don't bring as much value as you would hope. Your ultimates want to be in open areas like river, areas away where they can retreat to their tower really quickly. And that's like my goal early. And once the tower breaks though, it leaves up a lot more windows for you. Right? Because you can't really, you know, there's a long wind up. And there, unless like if they're on tower, then yeah, it's a bit different. But overall, it's just a long wind up where you're going to suffer because of it. Here I have so much money. Usually I advise you to base earlier. What do we need? We need our boots, of course. We just got our upgraded thing. And second item is Cleaver. And you're wondering, Inori, what is this secret item you've been talking about? Well, it's actually an item that you probably are very familiar with. Actually, I don't even know if I want armor boots here. They have a good amount of stun. They have 2 AD. I think I want merchants. And Phage is really good here. And yeah, the item is actually Blood Mail. I think Blood Mail is actually pretty OP after the buffs on certain champions. I think Briar exceeds. Usually it's like a third, fourth item. Fourth item, it's always like has a really powerful spot. If you're doing well, you can utilize it. Second item still has to be Cleaver because you need ability haste. So that's like a really important thing. But yeah, if you want to really have a damage item that's going to like amplify your damage like no other, Blood Mail is really strong now after the buffs. It gives you so much AD, especially when you get low as Briar. That's something you're always going to be utilizing. The only issue is it's really expensive. So it's something when you're really ahead, you can get a like third or fourth item. But DD is still really important for you to have as a third item as well. So it's something you want to kind of consider is, you know, you're still going to need that DD buy. And here my mid laner ended up dying. So here's a good angle for you to get these picks right here. So here I like to wait around this wall angle and then I go in, smite, and then she's pretty much dead now. I'm just going to start with ulti here, reset this guy. Thing is, I do have my W coming up with more healing. But oh my god, Volibear actually beat me down. I should have W'd earlier because I probably could have got 2 W's off in that situation. I'm really surprised I lost that. But Volibear is a bit of a stat check champion right now. He's very strong. Very much strong. I might have been able to save my E and just ulti the Volibear right away. It could have been better. You're definitely some champions you're gonna need that 2W angle to kill them. We definitely gave them a lot of money unnecessarily. I need the Karma to group up with me so we can actually kind of impact the map. And my goal is to get the Cleaver, and once we get the Cleaver, we're gonna be really strong. Yeah, I mean Volibear is a stat check champion. You gotta remember that. And also, if you start your combo on someone else, it just leaves a lot of room for, you know, mistakes to happen. We just need a ward here and then check. Damn, they're so low, but we're nowhere nearby here. I really wanted to get a combo off before that situation kind of got a little dicey. I think they could win it, but support's not really a champion right now. I did play heavily around objectives and I missed out on some farm angles. That's just unfortunate. I really need my cleaver buy to kind of get value of my item, because once I get the cleaver, I'll be able to shred. And I really do need 2 rotations of my W. And the thing about W and during the ultimate is it doesn't overlap with how, like, the buffing effect of your, for example, your W, if you hit ultimate, it pretty much activates your passive part of your W. You get the movement speed, you get the attack speed. Pressing W doesn't, you know, double it or anything like that. But it does give you a chance to bite them. So sometimes you might want a W and bite early and then look for, you know, sort of like another bite angle, right? That's what I should have done for the Bully Bear fight. And because of that, you generally suffer a bit. I will eventually out-stat check him for sure, but until I get my cleaver, it's not going to happen. Here, my team's on Herald. The reason I don't care for it because I kind of died twice in a row. And stuff like that is really bad for your game, especially when you're trying to climb and carry. So what I want is to make sure I put my time back into farming. And I don't really want to do anything too crazy. I want to look for like good picks. Picks on like this guy on tower, who's surprisingly really fed. This tower's already dead, so it's not really going to be an option. But I will take this side lane if no one else will. Fled on side lane is really strong, so I have to watch out for that. He might jump on me. Until I have my cleaver, I'm going to suffer. I'm going to suffer. It's a suffer angle. I think he's probably waiting in the brush somewhere. I really don't want to fight right now. This item is going to give me a lot of power. And third item is where you're going to itemize for, you know, whatever you want. Like I said, this game I think I'm going to go DD because I really need my armor to be able to sort of deal with some of this AD I'm going to be taking. And Volibear with the Navori build is really squishy but really high damage. He's going to do a lot of damage. But if you CC him, which our champion can do really well, we should be fine. And the big thing is he's going to heal a lot, so you have to watch out for the healing effect. If they go hard bot side, it's really good for me to kind of like open up for like a top side angle. I mean, I doubt this Mbessa keeps pushing. And solo queue is always a fun experience. You gotta love people just always raging and having a great time. Here we just have to take whatever play is good for us. This is actually a good ult angle. Why? Because well, he's lined up perfectly. And we can actually perfectly do the Otacon right after. So that was like a good angle. We were able to kind of get our value. Volibear will come. But we may be able to fight him here. We might have to go on him here. And just like that, we're able to get all this. Oh my god, this swing though. We should just not chase into the Kled. I should have got the roses. Getting the Otacon is good, but getting the roses is mostly the value in that. So unfortunately, ain't unable to get that. God, my W, I W'd early. If my W was active in that situation, because when you W on Briar, if they're untargetable, it doesn't do anything. It's so sad. And there's so much untargetability in the game now. For example, the Nefiri matchup is unplayable because if you W and they go untargetable, it's just like, okay, well, my W is gone. Or like Master E presses Q, it deactivates your W, right? So those situations are really unfortunate. That's why you have to make sure you understand what champion you're doing. If there's another champion near them and you W, it'll focus that champion. But if they're by themselves, and a lot of times you're trying to 1v1, you're going to suffer in that situation. I'm gonna kill her here. Multi makes me really tanky. If I'm about to get tower shot. Was it my intention to hit... What's her name? Cheese Beluga? No, but you know, I'll hit whoever I can. In that situation, you see how I saved my W? Because I know I'm just going to outrun and kill this Invesa. And then I use it like right after if I can. But in that situation, I see Bully Bear coming on me, so I'm like, okay, I'm just going to use it now to try to bite. Because the biting is going to heal you a lot, right? So the second part of the W is the bite, and make sure you know when you have to press it. One of the essentials of playing this champion well. From this point on, I just want to make sure I'm farming, I'm getting my item spikes. The majority of your games, this is like your core build. You want your Titanic, you want your Cleaver, or Titanic Cleaver, DD. That's like your core build. You're pretty much going to build it like almost every game. Which is really, really OP on her. And then afterwards, that's more when you're free to build items. The best MR item is Spear Visage, right? And generally, a lot of people go Sterix as well, which is like a really strong item for her. But if you want to spice it up, it's where the Blood Mail is going to kick in. And I do think Blood Mail, I'm going to build it after my DD. This game, because I think it's fun. I think fourth item, you can always fit it in if you want to try it. And your last item is going to be like Spirit Visage, right? Like, it's like pretty much without... You're just playing without Sterix in this build path. Which is going to give you a lot more damage, in my opinion. Especially because you're just stacking HP. Here, I have a bit of free time, and... They could be setting up... You know, I mean, it's a lot of lack of vision. Because of the sweeper, I can kind of aggressively see. I'm worried about other people being here, but if I see more people on the map, or this Invesa face checks me, it's much better. I'm worried about Bully Bear with her. It's always an issue. But she's not really looking here. It doesn't look like Bully Bear is here. That could have been bad with the swing coming in hot, but I was able to kind of outplay it through my discipline and skill. Just bite whenever you can here to really start your healing cycle again. And W, just to get close. Once you get close, you're going to be able to kind of get all that value. You can see how much my healing is accelerated. Our healing is nothing like you've seen before. Or pretty much full health, right? So that's why ability haste is really important. DD exactly going to give you what you need. I'll be surprised if they engage mid. I guess so. I'm getting ulti, so what I'm going to do is just reset it and then look for an ulti angle. Oops. That was my bad. I should have angled it a bit better. Ooh, the Kled TP came in hard. Man, this Kled is strong. I can't wait for them to nerf that boot upgrade. That boot's so fun. Bases with like a home guard. Oh, this boot iteration was so stupid for the game. Honestly. On God. But yeah, this is where Blood Mail is going to kick in. I'm going to go Blood Mail here. The build path's straightforward. You just build 2 of these tunneler items really strong. And this gives me kind of like the threshold of ability haste I really like to have. I want to have around 40 ability haste on her for the production on my W. Feels really good. That's usually like my goal with Briar. I'm always playing for that iteration of the ability haste combo. There's so much jungle up, but it's a Baron angle soon, so we have to play around Baron. So what I want to do is just clear the bot side out, because this side will be around Baron, so we can easily, you know, clear that with also being in a pressure area. Did he take my red? No. I do think I would win if I hit ultimate on him, so let's just see if it hits. No, he's aware of it. Now without ultimate, I don't think I'm gonna win. I also don't think he based. I guess he did. It just takes like a millisecond for base. Yeah, I mean, Briar ultimate, I'm just I would like Briar so much more if her ultimate didn't like make a goddamn noise everywhere. Like letting everyone know your ultimate is going off is just really, in my opinion, I think it's kind of silly. Like Pantheon ulti doesn't tell everyone in the world that he's classing his ultimate. This red's really important to get because it gives everyone on my team a red buff, right? So we want to make sure we clear that out. My team isn't really fighting yet, so we can just keep clearing a bit. Once we clear the side, we'll group up. And whenever you're playing against a split push comp like this Kled, who's pushing side lane, always catch the wave. Don't let split pushers do what they do. Don't let them be free. Because they will cause so many problems on you. Volibear being isolated is really good though. Now I can E2 if my Sam tries to go on me. Very nicely done. I do have my ulti coming back up. Ulti under tower is okay in this situation if we had a wave, but we don't. There's no way. Oh, that's our ulti. I was like, there's no way this guy's going in here. And you pretty much take no damage on Baron, right? So just do it. Like Shia LaBeouf would say, just do it. You take no damage. You just do the... And I can always ulti across the map if I want to afterward. Just gonna base in case I miss. Thing is, even if I miss there, it kind of forces them to slow down and think about your boy Inori coming in hot. Though it would have been better to just base and then cast it because they wouldn't know exactly which direction it's coming from. But overall, clean fight, clean damage. Might as well finish the dragon off here. Yeah, if I get the tunneler, if I get the blood meal, yeah, I'm gonna do a lot of damage. I promise you that. And it does give you a good amount of, you know, HP, which is important stat for you. This MF played really well with literally no support player on his team. So I'm proud. I'm proud of this MF. Really good game. I didn't really get to do anything towards the end. I didn't really get to showcase the build, but if you're not going to build this item, the build is pretty straightforward. Sterix, Spirit Visage for your MR item. That's it. Those are your options. Enjoy it. Enjoy Briar Jungle. Be sure to like, subscribe if you haven't already. If you like the video, be sure to, you know, share it as well. I'll be uploading more and more. And yeah, good luck on the game and good luck on the climb.